Welcome to the exciting world of Rail King model railroading. Rail King trains let you enjoy big train action in a small space. And your Rail King ready-to-run set has all the ingredients to begin a lifetime of model railroading excitement. This video will help you get maximum fun from your ready-to-run set. You'll see how everything fits together and how to work all of the high-tech features that make Rail King trains the most advanced on the market. To make it easy to find the information you need, this video is divided into 4 sections. Each section will have its own color code that will appear at the top of the screen throughout the section. In Getting Started, we will show you how to get your Rail King set up and running. Your set comes equipped with a conventional transformer controller or an infrared remote control, and this section will show you how you can enjoy the advanced features found inside your ProtoSound 2.0 equipped locomotive. Bigger Fun shows how you can build your set into an exciting family hobby. And finally, Your Own World takes you to visit a few serious model railroaders who have built entire miniature worlds using Rail King model trains. Each section is packed with fun and exciting ideas you can use on your own model railroad. Let's get your Rail King ready-to-run set out of the box and assemble it for action. Let's get the tools we'll need: a pair of pliers, a small Phillips screwdriver, scissors, and if your set is equipped with a wireless remote control, 2 AA batteries. RealTrack's track makes track laying a snap. The snap-together design allows you to assemble a loop in minutes. Just line up 2 pieces of track and press them together, taking care that these plastic tabs go into the corresponding space on the other track section. There, it's as simple as that, and your track will stay together even if you run heavy trains. You can see that the track is properly connected by the way the copper hooks are touching each other. This allows electricity to flow freely through the rails. RealTrax has a built-in road bed that looks great while protecting carpet and trains from each other. There are screw holes in the road bed for permanent layouts. Oh, and it's easy to take RealTrax apart when you need to. Just lift up on the 2 pieces and they come apart like this. How do you get power to the track? The lock-on delivers power to the track. Let's install the lock-on. Each RealTrax section has 1 or 2 perforated knockout pieces. You can choose a knockout that places the lock-on inside or outside the track, depending on space and which is a better place for receiving signals from the wireless remote control or the conventional Z controller. If you place the lock-on inside the loop of track, the tracks will cross the wire connecting the transformer to the lock-on. Use the pliers to pry out the perforated section of a piece of track. This makes the hole where you will connect the lock-on. It just slides right into the opening and snaps into place, giving you a solid power connection. Depending on how your set is configured, signals to the track are either transmitted from the controller through the wire harness to the lock-on or sent wirelessly from the remote control to the lock-on. If you are using a wireless configuration, your lock-on receives the messages from your remote control. Position the lock-on so that it is easy to point at with the remote. Like a TV remote, it only works when pointed at the lock-on. The rounded part of the lens is best for picking up commands, so turn and adjust the lens for the best angle. There are 3 holes on the back of the lock-on. The one in the middle is for the barrel plug from the transformer. The other 2 are for the ProtoCast and Proto-Dispatch features we'll explain in a few minutes. This is the transformer brick. It is connected to the wireless lock-on by plugging the barrel connector into the center hole of the lock-on. If your set features a conventional controller and lock-on, the brick's barrel connector connects first to the Z controller. The Z controller is then connected to the conventional lock-on with the included banana jack wire harness. All Rail King transformers are certified by Underwriters Laboratories. This thing that looks like a switch is the circuit breaker. If you have a short circuit or other electrical problem, this breaker will pop open, turning the power off to protect you and your trains. If your train stops suddenly and you see this white tab, there's a problem. Usually there are some wheels that are not properly on the rails. Once you've made sure everything is properly on the track, press the tab back in and start over. Now we come to the locomotive. Locomotives are the heart and soul of railroading. Without engines, a railroad can't do its job of moving goods from place to place, and they are just as important in creating the fun of model railroading. Whether you have a steam locomotive like this, Or a diesel locomotive like this. Your Rail King Loco has the power to pull many more cars than came in your set. Let's get these engines ready for action. When you first get your locomotive out of the box, you need to add a little lubrication so that everything moves smoothly and doesn't squeak. Use the lube from the MTH maintenance kit available at your train store or sewing machine oil. You'll need to put a drop of lube on each exposed moving part. On steam locomotives, this includes the side rods, valve gear, wheels and pivot on the lead truck, and the sides of the power pickup rollers on the underside of the engine. Be careful not to get oil on the flat part of the roller that contacts the track. Diesel locomotives need lube on the axle bushings and pickup rollers. You'll want to lube again about every 50 hours of time running the trains or any time you notice the engine running tighter or squeaking. If you put the train away and only bring it out at holiday time, you should lube it when you get it out each year. Your locomotive is equipped with the exclusive ProtoSound 2.0 digital sound system. This system gives you the most realistic sound and control in model railroad history. Hear the hissing and chugging of steam engines, the barking of diesels, the blare of horns, and the whistles you sound at will, not to mention the voices of the engineer and conductor. The volume control for the sound is located on the underside of your diesel engine, or the underside of the steam loco's tender. It is a plastic screw and can be adjusted with your screwdriver. Rail King engines typically come with the sound turned 3/4 of the way up, so you can adjust until you find the level that is right for you. Rail King steam locomotives feature extremely realistic puffing smoke. First, let's check to make sure your smoke unit is turned on. The on-off switch is located on the underside of either the locomotive itself or the tender. If you want to run smoke-free, you simply position the switch in the off position. Now we'll switch the smoke unit on and enjoy this exciting feature. Take the tube of proto-smoke fluid that came in your set box and cut it open with your scissors. Squeeze about 15 drops down the smokestack and let it sit for a few minutes so the fluid can soak into the wick. Blow down the stack to clear any air bubbles. The engine is ready to puff away. Your steam engine won't work without the matching tender, so let's connect it now. Next to the volume control on the underside of the tender is a sticker identifying whether your engine has the Loco Sound or ProtoSound 2.0 sound system. There is an identical sticker on the underside of the engine. Always make sure both the locomotive and tender have the same sound system. If you mix ProtoSound 2.0 locos with Loco Sound tenders or vice versa, you can damage the electronics. These two match, so take the tether, the wire that sticks out of the front of the tender, and plug it into the matching socket on the rear of the locomotive. Make sure the wire curves up, and be careful to push it in tightly to make a good connection. Slip the connecting pin on the bottom of the tender into a hole on the drawbar behind the engine. As you can see, railroad wheels have a lip called a flange. The flanges sit inside the rails, so that the wheels always ride on top of the rail. This is why trains don't need a steering wheel, because the engines and cars follow the track. If the flange is outside the rail, you will have a train wreck, and may cause a short circuit that will stop the train. Place your engine on the track, checking carefully to line up all the wheels so that the flanges are inside the rails. Steam locos are a little more difficult to put on the rails than diesels because they have more wheels. Let's give these engines something to pull. Take your cars out of the box and remove any packing material. Put a drop of lube on the axles of the cars just as you did on the engine. Look at the couplers. For the metal knuckle couplers to work, this bottom piece needs to be positioned like this. That way the spring catches and the coupler stays coupled. To uncouple, just pull down on this plunger. An automatic uncoupling track section is available, with a magnet that pops the coupler when you press a button. As you put the cars on the track, be sure that all of the flanges are inside the rails and the wheels are safely on top of the track. Couple the cars together and to the engine. Look at the detailed interiors on these passenger cars. The Rail King remote puts the power of a locomotive in the palm of your hand. To install the AA batteries, remove this small screw and open the battery cover. The Rail King remote works just like your TV remote. Depending on whether your set is configured with a conventional controller or a wireless remote, the method for powering up the track and running the train differs slightly. With the controller, first plug the power brick into a wall outlet. You'll see the red ready light on the Z controller come on to indicate the controller is receiving power. Rotating the Z controller's throttle adds power to the track as seen when the conventional lighted lock-on begins to glow. If your set came with the wireless remote, plug the power brick into the wall, point your remote at the lock-on, and start to power up. You will see the green LED on top of the lock-on flashing. That means it's receiving your commands. It takes 3 to 5 seconds to get up to track power. Watch the headlight or the lighting in the caboose or passenger cars. When those lights shine bright, there's enough power to start the train. The train takes several seconds to power up so that you can enjoy another exclusive Rail King feature, speed control. Speed control acts like the cruise control on your car. It means the train will continue to move at the speed you set, whether going uphill or downhill, and whether you add or subtract cars. This is why it takes a minute to power up at the beginning. Speed control needs enough power to buffer against hills and obstacles. Without speed control, engines may stall climbing hills or run off the tracks rolling downhill too fast. That's more like it. Your train starts in neutral. When you press the direction button once, it switches to forward. If you press the direction button again, it will go back into neutral. Another push brings you into reverse. Like your car, the train goes into neutral between forward and reverse. Regardless of whether your set includes the conventional Z controller or a wireless remote, moving into forward can be accomplished by pressing the red direction button. Use the throttle handle or the remote's rocker switch to adjust locomotive speed up or down, just like you're changing TV channels. Hear that exclusive proto-sound digital sound? You hear it increase in time with the speed? To start the bell ringing, press the yellow button and hold it for 2 seconds. The bell will automatically ring until you press and hold the yellow button again. Press and hold the white button to hear the whistle or horn. It will blow as long as you hold the button down. Now this is real railroading. The black button is for emergency stops, such as when you see a car veering off the track or drop something on the rail. It is also how you shut the power off when you're finished running your trains for a while. If your set came with the conventional Z controller, no emergency stop button is included because you can simply turn the throttle off just as quickly. It's always a good idea to unplug the transformer when leaving the train. Every Proto-Sound 2.0 locomotive comes equipped with a self-charging battery. This battery powers the sound system during momentary power interruptions and shutdown. Like the battery in your car, the locomotive's battery recharges continuously as it runs around the track. However, if the locomotive has sat in the box for an extended period of time, the battery may be low. You can tell the battery needs charging if your sound is distorted or garbled, or if the engine becomes silent immediately when track power is shut off. There are 2 ways to recharge the battery. Put your locomotive in neutral and set the track power high enough that the headlight shines brightly. Let it sit like this for 6 to 7 hours and the battery will fully recharge. If your engine has a smoke unit, be sure to turn it off before recharging. Many Rail King locomotives have this small plug on their undersides for use with the MTH battery recharger available at your train store. To use this recharger, insert the barrel plug into the outlet on the bottom of the engine. Connect the other plug to the wall socket and let the engine sit for 6 to 7 hours. It's like recharging your cell phone battery. You can also remove the battery, following directions in your instruction manual, and recharge it in any slow battery charger. To ensure that your trains get a good power connection from the track, you should clean it about once a week. Use a soft rag and either MTH track cleaning fluid or denatured alcohol, not rubbing alcohol. Just wipe the grime and dust away. There you go. You're started on the exciting hobby of model railroading. ProtoSound 2.0 delivers the most advanced digital sound and control features in model train history. This section shows you how you can enjoy real railroading fun. Operation of each feature can be accomplished in the same manner no matter whether your set was equipped with a Z controller or the infrared remote control. You can use the bell and whistle buttons to access the special sound and control features unique to ProtoSound 2.0. Depending on whether your train has passenger or freight cars, it has been equipped with either passenger station announcements or freight yard sounds. These pre-recorded sounds make for astonishing realism when you pull up to the station platform or into a yard. To cue up the sounds, press the bell button once. Then press the whistle twice while the engine is moving. Press firmly and quickly with a half second between presses. It may take a little practice before you get the rhythm right. The bell will start ringing to show that you've activated this feature. Press the direction button once. This will stop the engine and trigger the first sound sequence. You cannot change the engine speed or blow the whistle with the remote while playing the announcements. The announcement sequences last about 30 seconds each and will repeat until you press the direction button at the end of each one.
May I take your baggage? Thank you. Ticketed passengers only. Now departing for New York and all points east, train number 70, the Admiral.
The fourth time you press the direction button, the engine will go through the final sound sequence and slowly start moving again.
Eyeball.
The engine will accelerate to the throttle setting you had before you activated the announcements. Once the bell stops, the engine is back under normal control and you can vary the speed and blow the whistle. For more detail, consult the complete instructions for operating the announcements in your set's instruction manual. Your engine is also equipped with protocoupler, which allows you to uncouple the engine from the cars anytime you want. All ProtoSound 2.0 locomotives have an operating rear coupler. To fire the rear coupler, press the bell once, followed by 3 whistles. As with the passenger freight announcements, you must press firmly but quickly and practice the timing. When you have successfully fired the rear coupler, you will hear the clank of the lift bar and the whoosh of the train brake air hose disconnecting from the cars. To reconnect, check to see that the car's coupler is open, then back the engine into the cars firmly. Many diesel engines and steam switcher engines have an operating protocoupler on the front too. To fire the front coupler, press the bell once, followed by 4 whistles. ProtoSound 2.0 allows you to lock your locomotive into a single direction setting, forward, neutral, or reverse. To do this, run the engine very slowly, less than 10 scale miles per hour, in the direction you wish. Then press 1 whistle, followed by 3 bells. The engine will keep going in the same direction no matter how many times you press the red direction button or turn the track power on and off. To unlock the engine's direction, you need to slow it back down and press the same 1 whistle 3 bells sequence. This will allow you to control the direction normally. This feature is used mainly on large display layouts, but you might accidentally lock an engine into one direction and need to know that this is the only way to return to normal operation. In this section, we're going to see how your Rail King set can grow into an exciting model railroad. To help you create a model railroad that looks and operates like the real thing, Rail King also publishes the Model Railroader's Handbook, available at your train store. This book is a complete guide with information on real trains, how to create big action in limited space, and a full glossary of railroad lingo. Layout, construction, and operation are explained in clear text and step-by-step photos. The first thing you'll want to add to your set is more track. The RealTrack system includes every kind of track you need for building a complete and realistic railroad. There are long and short straight sections, remotely controlled track switches, cross-tracks, trestle sets for raising your track over scenery, and lighted bumpers for the end of the line. Here's a 4x8 sheet of plywood with some green carpet. Let's put the track from your Rail King set on top. Now you can expand this set into a long loop with a few 10 or 30-inch straight RealTrax pieces. Or you can get some RealTrax switches, put in some sidings or a yard, and run a wide variety of realistic railroad operations. With RealTrax, an entire empire of train fun fits easily into just a few feet. As you expand your tracks, you'll want more cars. There are add-on cars available for most Rail King sets. Our Rugged Rails series of freight cars gives you an affordable way to expand your operations with a variety of different cars. All Rugged Rail cars have metal wheels, sprung trucks that really spring, and operating couplers. The cabooses light up too. The RealTrax operating track section puts a lot of remote control action on your layout. This track is the same size as a regular straight piece, but has a round electromagnet. The magnet is activated by using this remote switch. If you position the couplers of your railroad cars over the magnet and flip the switch, the cars will uncouple from each other. This makes the operating track perfect for sidings, yards, and other places your trains will need to drop off individual cars. This track section also controls Rail King operating cars like this helicopter. Place the car so that the helicopter is over the magnet. Pull the switch to set the propeller spinning, and release the switch to launch the chopper. Rail King makes other operating cars too, like this dump car. Railtown buildings come pre-built and pre-wired for light. All you need to do is connect them to a power source and put them on your layout. On the bottom of every Railtown building there are 2 metal wire clips. Press down the metal clips on your building and slip the exposed metal wires into the openings. Put the powered wire to the AC clip and the ground to the clip labeled AC ground. Let go, and the wire is connected. See how simple it was to light this house? Operating track signals help make your railroad look and work like the real thing. There is a full line of Rail King signals, from the crossing gates to the semaphore or position light signals that tell engineers when it's safe for their train to enter a track block. Track signals can be automatically controlled by using a RealTrax infrared track activation device, or ITAD. An ITAD is a little electric eye that connects to the track just like a lock-on. The ITAD has a red window that faces the track. When this window senses the train passing by, it activates the signals or other accessories you have connected to it. There are dials on the side of your ITAD that can be turned with a screwdriver. One dial enables you to set a delay of up to 15 seconds, so that a crossing gate stays down until after the train has passed the ITAD. The other dial allows you to set the range the ITAD reads up to several feet away. This allows one ITAD to activate signals when trains come down either side of a double-track main line. ITADs are very easy to use and will add tremendous realism to your railroad's operations. Just watch these crossing gates. Rail King accessories bring life and action to the areas surrounding the track on your layout. From simple working streetlights to an automated car wash that works at the push of a button, Rail King accessories surround your trains with realism and excitement. All Rail King accessories are easy to connect to power. They use the same kind of wire clips as the buildings. Accessories come complete with any power switches that might be needed, and clear, straightforward directions. Look at this rotary beacon tower and watch as the train picks up passengers from the station platform. Included in your Rail King ready-to-run set is the Railware Interactive CD-ROM. This disc is packed with information and video about Rail King trains, features, maintenance, and other exciting stuff. Most importantly, the disc contains track planning software with a full library of RealTrax track sections, Rail King accessories, and Railtown buildings. Using this software, you can plan your own Rail King empire, complete with scenery and operating signals. Designate the size table you're planning to build on, select items from the pull-down menus, then click and drag them into place on the screen. You can save your layout design and come back to rearrange it later. Once you've designed the layout of your dreams, you can copy the list of track and accessories to a word processing program, print it out, and take it to your Rail King train store to purchase everything you need to make your dreams a reality. For advanced model railroaders seeking the ultimate in realism, we have developed the new ProtoSound 2.0 Digital Command System, or DCS. This high-end system gives unprecedented control and features. The DCS system requires a transformer, DCS remote control, track interface unit, and a ProtoSound 2.0 equipped locomotive. With DCS, you set your track power high and leave it alone. Using the 32 buttons on the DCS remote control, you can control several ProtoSound 2.0 locomotives individually, even on the same track. DCS gives you astonishing total control over train operations with features such as setting engine speed in scale miles per hour with adjustments in precise 1 mile per hour increments. You can control the volume of individual sounds. For example, you can make the whistle louder or the bell quieter. Access exciting passenger station announcements, crew talk inside the cab, and even train wreck sounds, all at the touch of a button. Proto Dispatch allows you to make your own train announcements using a microphone built right into the DCS remote.
Amtrak Cardinal ready to depart Zanesville for Charlestown, Martinsburg, Wheeling and all points west. All aboard!
Protocast enables you to play music throughout the train. Record and replay the last 30 minutes of train operations you ran on your layout. If you add an accessory interface unit, you can also control all track switches and accessories from the DCS remote. DCS is the ultimate model railroading experience. Ask for it at your local Rail King retailer. The greatest satisfaction of model railroading is the chance to build a world where you are the boss. Every tree, every hill, every train, every building is exactly as you choose, and no train runs without your finger on the controls. Your layout is a place where you can make your dreams reality without interference from anyone else. How often in life do you get that kind of opportunity? Some model railroaders build a layout that precisely represents a particular time and place. Other modelers choose to freelance, creating their own railroad name and logo, or mixing and matching different models any way they like. Since it is your railroad, you can choose what trains and operations interest you and build your layout to fit your own personal favorites. What could be better than that? The model railroads you are seeing here show how far model railroading can go. Enjoy the trip and see if you get any ideas for your own railroad. As you can see, the fun of Rail King model railroading is as limitless as your imagination. To keep up with new and exciting train ideas and products, make regular visits to our website, www.railking.com, and your local train store. Another great way to stay on top of things is to join the MTH Railroaders Club with the application included in your set. A year's membership in the club gives you a limited edition club car for your layout. A subscription to The Crossing Gate, our full-color bi-monthly magazine filled with train tips and news, access to the club section of our website, first-class mailing of all our catalogs, a membership card and lapel pin, plus other special offers. So, open the throttle, blow the whistle, and take charge of your personal railroad world. The track ahead is clear for fun in action.